Ah, what a lovely restaurant this is. I've never been here before.
Yes, they say the food here is blessed. Are you ready to order Domain?
The order domain is represents discipline as well as devotion to the laws that govern a society, an institution, or a philosophy. Clerics of order meditate on logic and justice as they serve their gods, examples of which appear in the table that's in this. Clerics of order believe that well crafted laws establish legitimate hierarchies, and those selected by law to lead must be obeyed. Those who obey must do so to the best of their ability, and if those who lead fail to protect the law, they must be replaced. In this manner, law weaves a web of obligations and creates order and security in a chaotic multiverse.
Well, that or laws are just created by the upper class to maintain the status quo.
What?
Um,
I've seen a lot of these tie in, and they tie well in with Mechanus and the lawful domains and
of
such.
course,
So
of
yeah,
course.
I fully see how this ties in, and I can get on board with this. I pick this up quite quickly. All right, Mitch, you want to take us through domain spells? What do we get for our domain spells being an order domain?
Excellent. All very, very fun spells. Level cleric levels we're going to talk. Level 1, we've got command and heroism,
Mm-hmm.
both amazing. Third level, you get hold person and zone of truth, both amazing. Fifth level, you get mass healing word and slow,
Mm-hmm.
both amazing. Seventh, you've got compulsion and locate creature,
Mm.
very amazing. I'm wondering how the locate creature is going to work as an order.
Hunt people down
Find that man!
who aren't doing the
Oh
right
my
thing.
god! Oh my god! I'm gonna need I'm gonna need a perimeter 5 kilometers every in house, outhouse, roundhouse. Oh my god! Yeah, this is Tommy Lee Jones in Fugitive. Uh, we got a fugitive. Ninth level, you got commune and dominate person.
Yeah, yeah. We've got a couple of enchantment spells, a couple of cleric enchantment spells, and a lot of them are already cleric spells. But that just means they're already on your list, and if you're going to be using them all the time, then that just gives you more options for your own. I think the big one that's different that really changes this from any other cleric spell list though would have to be slow.
Yeah, slow, and it ties in really well with this subclass mechanically because in the land of my head, where
Mm.
action economy is king, the order domain cleric is domain man.
Righto. Also, level 1, you start getting bonus proficiencies when you choose this domain at first level. You gain proficiencies in heavy armor, and you also gain proficiency in either intimidation or persuasion, your choice. So just remember, if you're going to be wearing heavy armor, you need a strength of about 15 or higher, and you're probably going to be a melee type for this type of build. The other one is that when later on, when you're using your channel divinity and you're charming everyone around, you're going to have advantage, which we'll talk about coming up. But whichever skill you're going to use, intimidate or persuasion, that'll be the one you pick now.
At first level, you do get the voice of authority. Now, this is
Mm.
you get to invoke the power of the law to embolden an ally to attack. If you cast a spell with the spell slot of first level or higher and target an ally with that spell, that ally can use their reaction to attack immediately after the spell and make one weapon attack against the creature of your choice that you can see. If the spell targets more than one ally, you choose the ally that can make the attack.
Who are you choosing,
Now,
Mitch? Who are you choosing?
oh yeah, so I've already made several builds with this, but this is where you want to be targeting people that are either crit fishing or big damage people. So rogues,
Mm.
uh, with the wording of per turn, can get a second sneak attack. Also, looking at barbarians, fighters, paladins, anyone that's going to do the big damage, and especially paladins if we're looking for crit fishing, because you might be casting a spell on them to give them advantage of their attack or extra abilities to attack and or extra damage on hit, which will all benefit paladins if they get that big crit off as well. Oh, Hexblade Warlocks as well.
Well, I was having a look at what spells would you actually be casting in a fight to give someone these abilities. And the quick list I came up with is obviously healing. Healing, of course. But other than that, the other spells you might be looking at that would potentially, and there's going to be others, but potentially that's going to target people. I think you're looking at Bless. I think you're looking at Protected Good and Evil, Shield of Faith, Aid, though you probably cast that outside of a fight. Enhance Ability, Lesser Restoration, Warding Bond. Beacon of Hope, Freedom of Movement, Dispel Good and Evil, Greater Restoration, True Seeing, Regeneration. After that, I think you start really running out of spells that you would cast on an ally in combat to get that. So healing's probably going to be a big one there.
This now makes Bless one of the best spells in the game. It already was, but it makes it a lot more viable because action economy just gets blown out the window, and you can abuse mechanically out the wazoo.
You do get a lot out of this. Tying in with this, though, is also your Channel Divinity at second level, Orders Demand. At second level, you use your Channel Divinity to exert an intimidating presence over others. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each character of your choice that you can see or hear, sorry, each creature you can hear or see, within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw, or be charmed until the end of your next turn, or until the charmed creature takes any damage. So you can use this cause on. You can make, and it says in here that you can also make the charmed creatures drop what they're holding if they fail their saving throw. So some things to be noted here. The charmed effect is creatures can't attack the charmer, but they can still attack your friends. And the charmer has advantage on social interactions. So that skill you chose earlier, here's where you're going to use it. In which case, you might tie in your intimidation or persuasion effect to tell everyone to surrender, to flee, or to throw down their arms. And therefore, everyone who failed is going to flee, run away. And those who succeeded, then your group just gets one round to have to deal with them before the others then come back again. So can be handy, but you've got to pay attention to how you're using it.
Yeah, it's like Turn Undead, but you can use it on things that aren't dead.
One round, though. It's a bit short. It's a little bit short, but...
Yeah, one thing that makes this thing OP, if you're playing it right,
Mm-hmm.
spellcasting focuses that are held in the hand.
Yep.
Making them drop that just after their turn and giving your entire party a chance to steal their spellcasting focus and run away, that's a baller move.
Yeah, as long as you can chuck in that, drop your equipment and flee.
Yeah.
Which also then would distance them, depending on how much the DM's going to let you do. Like, is drop and flee too much, or is just flee, like, surrender might be more along drop the stuff and hands in the air? Depends. Depends on what your DM's going to allow. What do you reckon about Embodiment of Law, Mitch?
Cheers, Archie. Embodiment of the Law. At 6th level, you become remarkably adept at channeling magic energy to compel others. If you cast a spell of the enchantment school using a 1st level or higher, you can change the spell's casting time to 1 bonus action for the casting, provided the spell's casting time is normally 1 action. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and minimum once, and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Yeah.
What are you doing with that, Mitch? What are you going to do?
Yeah, anything I want. Yeah, you got all sorts of hold persons, so you can get off an advantage attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
I think hold person, going through a cleric's enchantment spells, being Bane, Bless, Command, Calm Emotions, Hold Person, Zone of Truth, Fast Friends, Insight, Greed, Motivational, Speech, Geese, and the ones that we've already put on your list, such as Heroism, Compulsion, Dominate Person. I think Hold Person's your thing there. It paralyzes them.
Yeah, I do like Hold Person, and it does amplify out when you level it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a big fan of Command on this one, because doubling up on the command with your Channel Divinity does work well. So getting them their weapons and then flee using 2. And I'd probably give them advantage if they followed the first, disadvantage if they failed the first save, just because it's one command after another. Social conditioning, they just go, oh yeah, well, I've already dropped my weapon, I might as well fuck off. It actually seems a lot more plausible right now. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. And yeah, it's one of those great things that also may give people additional attacks as they run past them.
Potentially, definitely. I like Hold Person for the Perilous. They're incapacitated, they fail strength and dex saves, they've got attack rolls of advantage against them, and if you're within 5 feet, it's instant crits. So there's another one for your rogues. Or if your weapon isn't doing the damage it was, and you've gone Sacred Flame build, dex save, they fail immediately. You're straight onto your Sacred Flame damage. So
Yeah.
I see, and because it's used a spell than using a cantrip, or you're hitting them with your weapon, they kind of your real options that are left.
Okay, at level 8, we get Divine Strike. So at 8th level, you gain the ability to infuse your weapon strikes with divine energy. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you cause the attack to deal an extra 1d8 psychic damage. Once you reach 14th level, that extra damage increases to 2d8.
Hmm. I see this as just trying to keep up with your cantrip damage.
Yeah.
Without it, hitting you with your mace of 1d6 ain't going to do nothing compared to bonus action enchantment and then using a cantrip. So this is just kind of keeping your melee at least in par. It's not making you better, it's just keeping you in par. And the psychic damage could be beneficial if there are damage resistances that your cantrips aren't overcoming, so or your weapon can't. So options. It's giving you options and different ways to play. If you win a melee build, you're not going to fall too far behind.
Yeah, your radiant damage seems to do a lot less damage than you thought it would.
Mm.
Your fire damage does a lot less fucking psychic damage.
No one, barely anyone can resist that.
Works every time.
Starting at 17th level,
Do it.
your enemies. The enemies you designate for destruction wilt under the combined efforts of you and your allies. If you deal your divine strike damage on a creature on your turn, you can curse the creature until the start of your next turn. And during which time, if one of your allies hits the creature with an attack, they also get 2d8. They get 2d8 psychic damage from the curse, and you can curse a creature this way only once per turn. So I see this as, I mean, if you look at your numbers, let's say you took Toll the Dead, you'd be doing at level 17, 48 or 40-12 damage for doing that. But if you're going to use your melee, your weapon strike, you're doing your 1d6 for your makes, assuming that's what you're using. You got your 2d8 from your psychic damage, and you've got your strength. With now possible other 2d8 coming from somewhere else. So it's keeping your melee in that tax, but it now requires 2 attacks, not just the Toll the Dead save. So different options. That's all I see. You're not getting greatly powerful, but it's keeping the melee build doing damage.
I do like that giving an extra 2d8 to your ally when they attack, because this can add up to as I said, it's for crit fishing, so that could be an extra 4d8 plus the 5d8. That's an extra d8 from your attacks.
You hold someone
68
person,
for
yeah.
68 for one attack. That's not bad, but yeah, let's be honest. It's just a little bit of flavor to make the attack that you order someone to do taste a little bit better.
Mm.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper.
So what do you like and don't like about this class, Mitch?
The thing I really like about this subclass is
Mm.
that it is one of the kings of action economy.
Mm.
Being able to support your group in their endgame fantasy of landing the paladin crit. You're basically doubling the chance that a rogue or paladin's going to land that crit while buffing them with either healing to keep them up or spells to give them more likeliness to hit, or
Mm.
making them brave, get rid of effects. So it is one of the best classes for support subclasses. Um, Things I don't like is, as always with clerics, I don't like the giant gap between 6 and 17.
8
I
and 17,
understand
yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, I
That's huge.
understand that's the way clerics are built and is about their spells. I just want a little bit more flavor on the authority thing, like just like a little expertise, expertise at level 13 in something.
Mm-hmm.
Chef's kiss.
All right,
How about
cool.
yourself?
I don't think this is one of the more powerful subclasses. I think it's sort of mid-range. It does have some good abilities, particularly with that the hold action, the hold person bonus action, and then everyone gets a crit on them. Yeah, like that's definitely powerful. Can only do it a couple times a long rest, so handy on the road. Maybe a little less handy in the dungeon crawl when you got a plan when you use it. But I think it's a interesting subclass. I think the story that goes with it is compelling. The tie to order and law is something that we don't see a lot of, and people love playing chaotic characters. Lawful ones can be fun too. I think yeah. So I think most of your abilities in melee are only just keeping up with everything else, so it's more of a compensating rather than a giving you cool stuff. So I think that could have been tweaked a little higher. Character concepts. You were fun thinking about a couple different ones there. One did you settle on, Mitch? If you were to make a full one of a full level 20 one of these, how would you go?
I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't. I would multi-class the shit out of this thing.
Uh-huh.
Um, However, if I was to go a full level 20, I would be going a retired assassin, much the like of a Shepherd Book from the Firefly series or
Mm-hmm.
Serenity. Someone that's seen everything, done everything, and has
Mm-hmm.
resolved that killing isn't the way, except for sometimes when it's completely necessary. And in which times he'll pull a Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black, and like the young fighters in there fighting, and he goes, throws a heel at him and goes, Jay, he's a bald chinian.
I give advantage to that guy's checks. Check.
Give advantage and try and let him get a crit on that guy's bald chin balls. But
No,
I
cool.
think a experienced someone that's seen a lot but no longer wants to kill. So not a pacifist. They understand the way of the world, but they just want to do more good than bad. So someone looking for a change of path and trying to help young ones through it. So
Mm.
I definitely an elder character, and I'm really thinking embodying that. I'm pretty sure it's Shepherd Book, but it's the old man from the Firefly series, and I'm totally gonna not look that up right now.
Mm. I'm just making a final note for mine. I think that this character works really well as a marshal like character, a sheriff who can freely wander around and go hunting down doers who don't do as the law says. Mechanist has many characters and many Modron type and constructs that do this and go out and enforce laws of the universe,
Yeah.
believing that there has to be a balance between law and chaos, or otherwise think the scales tip. And I can definitely see if the group was looking at building a party based around lawful bounty hunting and bringing people to justice, this character would team up great with like any paladin, a clockwork sorcerer, and that rogue to make sure you get that economy effect. But maybe not like the assassin rogue, maybe one of the other style of rogues, forming this bounty hunter team. So I can definitely see this you being a lawman
Oh yeah.
going around, and it could. I mean, it said like church law, philosophical law, city law, whenever it ties the group together, or you've all got individual laws that bind you into a group. I think this is a great little build for a team who are all going to work together, and it could even be good for Keys of the Golden Vault for some of their adventures. I think this might be an interesting class to play with those adventures. How about for DMs? Do you have any tips for DMs having one of these in the party?
DMs are the big. I've seen this in many games using this subclass. Actually, get out tokens for reactions. Have everyone have a reaction token that they
Mm-hmm.
have, and once they use it, they flip it over until the start of the next turn. Because this is one where they'll use the reaction for evasion or something to dodge out of damage, and then they'll go, "Hey, I'll get that rogue to attack," and everyone's like, "Yay!" Rogue rolls a crit, and then that you might realize that they'd already used their reaction, but they'd already rolled the crit. You don't want to be a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Like they should have known if that token's there. It just if you're new to action economy, it's one of those things that can really help. So a little reaction token for each player,
Mm-hmm.
100% can save you from a lot of hassles and a lot
All
of
right.
fights.
Yeah, that's a good one. Most times you won't think about it until because rarely do you get that many reactions. But
Yeah.
It'll catch you
It
once or
does.
twice. It'll catch you.
It does cheapen it if the last hit on the BBEG turns out to be an invalid hit that shouldn't have happened because the reaction wasn't there. And you never mention it, but whenever you think about it, months down the track, you're like,
Should
he
have said
shouldn't have
something.
been able to
I was a
do that.
lawful character and I let this go. Let it pay. For me, I think now you've got a melee cleric. You've got to give them a good weapon. The abilities only just make it so it draws even. All your abilities after like level 8, they only just make it so your weapon can keep up with the rest of your cantrips and spells. I think you need to give this class a better weapon, and you got to make sure the cleric gets it. The paladin or fighter don't take it off them.
Yeah.
So maybe one of those only a cleric can attune to type items. Yeah, so I think he needs something. Now, could do extra holy damage, extra something, and just something to make him favor the weapon as opposed to just using his cantrip, which is more powerful, and make him that melee build cleric. So I think the weapon is the biggest one. To let this character shine, he needs to be a melee cleric. It's what he's built for. Thank you for joining us on this one, Mitch. Once again, we're slowly working our way through this book. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and do that YouTube thing, comment and all that down below. If you've built one of these and you've found a really effective way that we haven't mentioned, put it down below so other people can track in case we missed it.
Oh, yeah. We're going to
And
share ways to blow DM's minds.
yeah, we're going to help all ourselves build strong and cool characters. And other than that, thank you for joining us. I've got plenty of other adventure reviews, subclass reviews, and things like that on the channel. Check them out. And I'll catch you next time when order up.
Hell yeah. See you there, man.
Bye.